Hi guys, back again. How are you? Um, this is this would be a part two to the part one. I mean, the last video I made. Of course, is to do it. Tesco shopping centre in County Monaghan. Basically, the workers, the management, the whole way the place has been run. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We walked into the shop, and as we were walking into the shop, we could see a boy over to the right of us. He was at a sweet stand, I think I said this before, with his trousers hanging down around his arse, like, basically. That's what it was. And I talked to one of the staff, or I want to call the management or whatever. Of course, it was the one that was behind the desk. There's two boys down here sending management down here. There's two boys down here creating ructions. We weren't creating ructions one bit. We wanted to see the management. We wanted to see the whatever the film footage is, CCTV or whatever it is, from the store, from this boy walking around doing in a decent exposure act. There was this lad that came up and another lad with him still behind him, like the two bouncers' jobs. This here was the arms folded, and when we asked about this man walking around the store with women and children in the store and all the rest of it, and other people's men there as well, what was going on or what was happening or what were they doing about this, they would not interact with us on this conversation. All they wanted us to do was to leave the store. Why, we asked them, why did you want us to leave the store? They wouldn't answer us. So say, get security. I want to see security. The coincidental thing about security, it wasn't at its desk when this was going on with this man here. Or with that fucking piece of shit, whoever he was, with his trousers down around his fucking arse. That was indecent exposure. All they wanted to do was to get us out of the store and not talk about this. And we wanted to know what they were doing about it and what was going on about it. And we weren't aggressive or we weren't one thing or another. No. Get out of the store. We were told we were at fault, not this boy walking around with the trousers around his arse. We were in the wrong, according to their eyes. And when we wanted to talk about this, they wouldn't talk about it. There was no security there. There was no management there worth talking about. There was two lads standing with their arms crossed. I hadn't a clue what was happening. Go back to school, for fuck's sake. The week after that, I was in the shopping centre. I'd done a few bits of shopping, come out. There was no crims or clams. There was no security call. There was no this. There was no that. I went in. I was in the shopping centre there Saturday, the 20th. And I was down around the bottom end of it. The security guard comes up and says, you have to leave the store. Why? Put that down. He says, you have to leave the store. So I'll put nothing down. I'm not leaving any store. To cut a long story short, guys, he could not. He said, because this was why I had to leave the store was with an incident between me and another chap that was in the store a couple of weeks previous to that. As I say, how would you know about that? To say, so you weren't here. We called security to say you weren't here. No answer. Wouldn't interact at all with me. Answer any of my questions. All he wanted to do was for me to leave the store anyway. I said, I am not leaving the store without a valid explanation. And another thing, you tell me what happened or what went down or what went wrong. Refused to do that. Refused to interact with me. Just leave the store, leave the store. So they call management. They call the management. This woman come down. I hadn't got my phone, guys, on at that stage to record it. There was a woman come down and I says, right, you'll be all, says, it'll be going on YouTube. Oh, you're not. All she was worried about basically was that her name wasn't going up on social media. Well, I'm saying that you're a management working in a big store, and if anything happens, you're there, to deal with the public. You can't put me up on social media. Basically, that's all she was worried about. Her name was going up on social media, whatever it was. But the best part of it is the security guard started playing this old a bit shaky, this old skit, this old nervous skit. This type of this is all to do with the program anyway, this thing. So I was up talking to security, the management was called down, a woman and this other fella or whatever. Then he started saying that I accused him last week, I insulted him and all this, carry on or whatever. That was the 2 weeks before that. Well, to say, if I had insulted you, whatever the carry on was, you should have called the guards the 2 weeks before that. If there was any insulting or bullying or bad mouthing anybody going on, he should have called the guard, but he didn't. So you see, what it was wait until we get the skit set up, right? So this was the first part of the skit. Your man with his trousers, with the thing with his trousers down his fucking round his arse. I fucking hate saying that shit. That's what the first part of the setup was. Because they knew that I would have come back, but of course I wasn't banned from the shop. Nobody told me I wasn't entitled to go back into the shop. I wasn't told that I was barred from the shop or anything, nothing. So why wouldn't I go back into the shop? So they got me Saturday. The security guard coming down asked me to leave, wouldn't give me a fucking explanation why I should leave. Anyway, he was doing his old skit, and he was old nervous skit, shaking lip and shaking hand and all this fucking crap. He's Pakistani, by the way, this security guard or whatever, or supposed to be security for Tesco's, corrupt to the health as well. Along with management and the workers in Tesco's, these are all corrupt. You couldn't lay straight in the bed if you were fucking paid that. I was talking, management was called, there was a woman that was called, and this other lad that was called as well, and I was standing up round the newspaper stand or whatever it was, but I seen this thing floating around, hanging about to the left of me, and we'll call him Sherlock Holmes for the minute, and he was there for a few minutes or whatever. That just like that, he pulled out a yoke out of his thing, a badge out of his pocket, and detective such and such, and I'm placing you under arrest for what was it, something in a public order act, something in abusive behaviour or something like this, And I was only talking to these people. I wasn't abusive or anything else in the world or whatever. There might have been a fucking a blame here or something. You're living in Ireland. This is what we do. We blind. This is what Irish people do. But then he had to get, then that was all right. There was a bit of a scuffle, broke out again, the usual fucking crap or whatever, make up the rules as you go along. But no matter how hard I tried, they would not bring that paedophile into the equation. Or where was the CCTV footage of it? Did anyone else were there to see that? There was two of us there that seen it. And they knew that he was going along, and they got rid of the security boy that day, tell him to do something else, and to make sure that the security boy wasn't there when this other fucking pedo was walking around the fucking shopping centre. They made sure that security wasn't there, because if he was there, I would have pointed it out to him, showed him to him. But you see, this is how low they'll go, it's layer upon layer upon layer of lies. So, to cut a long story short, guys, they called the uniform guardie. I don't know what a detective was doing arresting me in the first place. Because 90% of the time, 99% of the time, detectives wouldn't bother with the likes of that. That's only a minor thing, so why should they fucking bother with the likes of me, and that's what he said too, But seeing that I was creating that much of a fucking ruckus, he had to do something. I wasn't causing any ruckus, any argue matches or not. I was only trying to get, you might be trying to get blood out of a stone to try and discuss the pedo the couple of weeks before that was in their store that they allowed walk around the place, creating indecent exposure. Wouldn't call security, wouldn't call, yous are the ones that's guilty here. Not me, I'm not guilty of anything. But 2 uniformed Gardaí came down, I was arrested, I was brought from there down to the barracks. So, there was no question, it was name and address and bloody blah, whatever, public order act, such and such a public order act. I think it was 2 charge sheets or whatever it was. But when we went down into the barracks, I was placed sitting outside an interview room. Now, I just had a quick peek in because there was 3 or 4 Gardaí around the place, or maybe a bit more. I had a quick look in anyway, and there was this, I suppose he ran the same age as myself, a Kerry man, right? And he was dressed, he reminded me of this boy. He reminded me of a lad like sitting, this, mature gentleman sitting in a library, say, with his legs crossed and him smoking a pipe, maybe reading a book or something like that. There, that's the cut of this boy reminded me of. Now, whoever the guard that was interviewing him, right, he called him for all the F's and blames of the day, and said that he reported 2 kids that were being abused next door or something to him or something. I don't know whether it related to him or they were next door or something. I only got the gist of the thing. But it was about children being interfered by or something like this here, and he reported it. He reported this carry on, and they done nothing about it, and all this carry on. And then I gathered there was a third party in an interview room, which was, it seemed, a black dude, a doctor, a mental illness doctor. And they were going on about, many times has this saved him, this mental ill act and all this, and, it's still going on and all this. Basically, guys, it was another fucking ploy or another setup to get the stress up in me or whatever it was. So it's just why I'm sure there's more than one interview in building, and why I was parked in a chair outside it that I could hear everything that was going on in it. Do you know what I'm saying? I looked into, and he had a pack of tobacco in his hand and cigarette papers. I don't know, you wouldn't be allowed to smoke anyway, I don't know, but to be quite honest with these guys, I think it's all part of the plan and all part of the setup of the program, the way it's run, and to try and keep you in a negative frame of mind, which at the present minute, looking at that, what would you call it? It'd be an induced state of fucking depression, I'd say, that when you go along out there looking, this is what they're trying to do anyway, all the car accidents and all these vehicles crashed and all this wobbling in front of you on the road, to try and keep you depressed and in a stressed state of mind and all this carry on. Then the people, the other day, I'm not sure, I think it was Sunday, could have been, 2 lads, they're constantly running out in front of me as well. I'm walking out in front of me, and I'll tell you, wouldn't it be great to have brains, wouldn't it? But a lad there, he's in the home bakery, him and the father's businessman ran monaghan. But I surprised at him, like, you know what I'm saying, running across the road. It's all to keep you in fear and anxiety and sort of break down your nerves. Let's carry on here, by creating stress and, constant people are running out in front of you. Like, you say, who's the fucking stupid one here? Me or fucking them? You know what I'm saying? But like, So I let down the window anyway, and there was no cars behind me. There was no panic. All they were doing was going in for the dinner. I knew that. They got out of an hour removal van that was there. But I let down the window or something anyhow, and he was, oh, why don't you slow down? It's just like, where's your radar gun to see what speed I was doing or whatever, and you fat F. I was in a bad mood, guys, and I just shot it, and then the other lad started making up something about, oh, we'll teach you a bit of manners or some fucking bullshit like this, and I gathered this was the arrest over the carry on in Tesco's, but the whole thing was set up, guys, just to get me arrested. There was no such thing about the pedo walking around the shopping centre getting CCTV footage of him creating decent exposure. Monaghan, Tesco's and Monaghan are highly corrupt to the health. The workers, the staff, the management, everything about them are corrupt to the health. It doesn't, they're just walking around like robots. It doesn't matter what they say. It's just, you do what you're told, and that's it. If you want to be here, do what you're told and get on with doing your skits or carrying out your skits or whatever the fuck they do in it. But later on that Saturday evening, I think it was around 3 or 4 o'clock, we were sitting outside the shopping centre again, and who comes strolling down and stops in front of the car? Only the supposedly one that was called to me in the shop earlier on that day. I got out the thing about 3:30 or 4 o'clock or something like that. I was above the shopping centre, in the car park. I wasn't in the shopping centre having something to eat, and who comes walking down? Only the management that was there in the shop, and all she said was, you'll have to get out of the shop. Another plant, the potter out, she come walking out down and stopped in front of the car. This is the usual carry on what they'll do, So I could get a bit hot-headed and get out and start attacking or whatever the fuck, whatever they want me to do. Like, this is, how coincidental can you get it, Just stop right for an end. Why she done it, I don't know. A waste of space, like, no. She had no, there was neither she was going or coming or nothing. She just stopped right in front of my car. And then for the few seconds she did stop there, she didn't know fuck what to do. Whether to stay along or whether to walk on, look at me, or what to do. But this is, now I'm up on, what is it? I don't know, 2 public order acts, 2 whatever it is, it doesn't worry me. But it's a tower guys how they'll tell the lies and build it in a pour. Like this one, they were planning this one, I'd say, for about 2 weeks or so. The unfortunate about it is I am of sound mind and sound body, thank God, touch wood. I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on out there. I know that the country's corrupted health. It's proven, it's well more than proven, but this here. But why they can't do the right thing instead of the wrong thing, and they actually know that they're doing the wrong thing, but they still won't do the right thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's. But if I cross the line a little bit, all I done was ask for management and security and ask them what was the story with this boy walking around. They wouldn't interact one little bit with me. They discarded that away, and then you just get out of the shop, you just get out of the shop, get out of the shop, get out of the shop. Why? For what? For what? So that you're able to spin your lies and your corruption, is it? And all the rest of it, or whatever. Now, I think that's 3 to 4 times I had a run-in with these crowd in Tesco's, But she was more worried about not getting her name up on Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is, TikTok or whatever these emails is. That's all she was worried about. She didn't want to get her name up in that. That's all the interaction I got out of her was, oh, you can't put me up on that and all this carry on. Why can't I? I was listening to a video there today. Anybody, your man says, what about this thing? What about if someone comes along to you and puts stuff up on YouTube or Facebook about you? What your man turned around and said was, as long as it's not lies and it's the truth, they can put up as much as they want and as long as they want. Or for as long as they want. As long as it's not lies, he said, as long as it's the truth, post away on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, post away all you want, he said, as long as it's the truth and it's not lies. So that's what his answer was, and he's 100% right. So basically, I am not threatening anybody or being abusive, being violent, pulling knives on anybody. I've been accused in here of doing this, threatening abusive behaviour. What else would you call it? Defacing property, damage to property, pulling knives on neighbours, fighting with them. All this, it's all pure lies. And then you have the head over, I don't know who is the housing, whatever, this housing by here, the head over these here, ringing me up and all this. And then I'm getting threatening letters that I've been evicted and all this, carry on and all this. And all these so-called threatening people, pulling knives on people, creating this disturbance, creating the other disturbance. It has all been, there hasn't been one incident where the Garda has been called on me for doing the likes of these. So that'll just show you that it's all fucking lies. It's all lies that they're doing. But you can't keep telling lies the whole time. Look at guys, I'm probably pissing you off here a bit now at the minute, but I just wanted to get that up about Tesco's and the harassment Tesco's will rather go along and protect paedophiles and 30-year-old men that's walking around their shop and let it happen and let it go on, but yet they'll turn around and they'll get me arrested that's absolutely trying to point this out to other people and point it out to the manager of security, which they weren't their way shitting or hiding around the corner or whatever it was that day anyway. But it was all a play. He was told not to be there anyway when this skit was being pulled with your man, with that pedo boy or whatever. But yeah, they will not interact with me when I call the guards, want the CCTV footage of this boy here, and I want the management down to see what's going on, the security in the shop, see what's going on. But Saturday, they had every fucking security guard in the shop and sat around me, and the guard and management, you know. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, I'm the one that was telling lies that this didn't happen, and this is what they're trying to do now is cover their own tracks. You know what I'm saying? By saying, you know, this. Well, they wouldn't interact with me. They wouldn't say anything about it. But all they wanted to do was me out of the shop for what? I wasn't doing fuck all wrong. I didn't steal anything out of the shop. I didn't bail any assault anybody or whatever it was. You know, but then, of course, the handy's way out of that is Public Order Act, and then you're charged with whatever it is, dumb shit, saying a fuck or a blind idea or an F or this or that or whatever. You lived in Ireland, like, you know, but Irish people do fucking blind out of them, you know, so what? You know, big swing, like, you know, it's... I don't know, guys, it's getting to be fucking stupid. It's not, it's getting to be stupid. It's the people out there that's stupid, you know, that's walking out, pretending to walk out in front of you, walk out in front of you, run out in front of you, pull out in front of you. You know, this constant day in and day out and day in and day out. And then if it's not that, you've been fucking stared out of it or whatever it is, or people staring you out of it. You're not sick looking at my face. Take a photograph, it'll last longer for you. If you're that badly you want to look at me. But it's all, as the fella says, follow the leader, you know, as long as you're not telling the truth, you're all right, as far as I can see in this fucking carry on, or in this program. Don't tell the truth. Tell plenty of lies, it'll be alright. Guys, I'll keep you updated anyhow, whatever. All I can do is the best I can or whatever. Anyway, I'm only one, as the fella says, I'm only a small guy in a big, big world. But it's either to get me to commit suicide, to get me for them to get me into a mental health hospital, or either to get me locked up, or to create some sort of a violent act to get me locked up or whatever, which I'm not going to do. I am not mentally in the head or insane mentally by any ways. My health is for 62 years of age. I reckon I'm in good enough shape. It's just wait on the next episode. That's all, guys. I can tell you. The next plan, whatever they have set up for me now around the corner, I don't know. But any one of you out there are supposed to be at this fucking protecting policing up, community policing or welfare policing or whatever the fuck this is. I don't know what it is, or good fucking citizenship or good neighbours, or I don't know what you call it. But I'm supposed to be the big criminal, the big murderer, the rapist, or whatever it is here in this situation here, right? But yous are supposed to be the right ones. That's by doing this, by creating this stalking and harassment. They think they're in the right by doing this, but they're absolutely breaking more laws than ever I broke in all my life, and probably half of Ireland in what they're doing. You know, Stasi fucking type program. I think how it fell down was through dishonesty and more corruption and lies and the rest of it. It got to the stage, I think, well, one couldn't believe the other, you know, and it was all, Hitler made a peace pact with Russia, you know, to, that one wouldn't attack each other or whatever, and they'd help each other and all this and all that, signed the paper. But the best part of it is Russia knew that Hitler was going to double cross them, and I think they were half prepared for it. But sure, didn't Hitler turn around and attack Russia in the long run anyway, you know. But this is the way it's done, guys. This is the way it's done. But the program is all, it's the breakdown. It's to break down your nervous system. It's the breakdown. It's to keep you under stress the whole time. When you're being kept in a stressed state the whole time, you're basically probably in fight or flight mode, you know, and then which that develops into anxiety, and then sure, anxiety, you know, you have health anxiety, you have social anxiety, you have a couple of more anxieties, you know. But what it is the program is to keep you in a high stress mode, in a mood, so that your body keeps releasing sugars, you know, to help you bring down the stress or whatever. And then when your body releases sugar, it has to release the insulin to lower the sugar in your blood. Between the sugar and the insulin being released all the time in your body, it's not good. That's from being put under constant stress, like the likes of court cases, the likes of the people out there following you around the place, you know, being paranoid, you know. Oh, like it's everything, you know. It's like, you know, like getting through threatening letters here and getting ESB bills and getting this bill and the other bill and all the other fucking carry on, like these crowd here in the flats tell me that I never paid me rent for nearly 2 years. So that's what I have. I had a way with documents yesterday, or receipts yesterday, and show some of them. And I have more to show as well. But we are actually here where we are now. Here. There's the road out there. And we are actually sitting here in the car park, as you can see there, guys. And a friend was in the car, or whatever it was, and he has a wee dog there. Next minute we seen the the council, one of the council lorries or one of the council vans pulling in there, and he wanted to know who owned the wee dog anyway or whatever that was in the car or whatever. But the next day, I got this thing through the door, no dog license, this grey and brown, grey and brown Jack Russell or whatever it was, something about dog license or something, did something in red and all this. This is the type, you know. The likes of that, you know, keep you under stress and then give you loads of abuse when he's standing out there, you know. The same boy was digging ditches there a few years ago. Now he's flying around in a fucking dog warden van. Is that what it is? In Monaghan County Council or whatever the fuck you call them. But it's all true, like threatening letters from Clonmel Ireland, like, you know, there was a disturbance in outside your flat or inside your flat or something the other day or something. Now if this keeps up or whatever, you're going to be evicted. You know, you'll have 7 days to be evicted and all this carry on or whatever. Like, the time before that last year, it was a couple of letters, you're fighting with the neighbours, you'll be evicted. You pull the knife on your neighbour, you're going to be evicted. What about the night my next door neighbour came to me with a sledgehammer to the door at 11 o'clock at night? What about that? Is he going to be evicted? It's the ones that robbing the stuff off my car, like the likes of me mirrors, and I hung a small clothesline out the back. There's a pair of tracksuit bottoms robbed of it there. Are these going to be affected or prosecuted for all these crimes that they have done against me? What? No, I don't think so. No, but it's me that's receiving on receiving end of the threatening letters and abusive behaviour and all fucking shebang. That's the whole lot, guys. That's all I can tell you for a minute. There's loads of other stuff going on out there at the minute, but I can't remember half of it. But at the end of the day, it's not good stuff. It's not healthy. There's nothing going on out there to benefit the people of Ireland today. You know, they're getting this hotel ready for these to stay in. They're getting the other hotel ready for these ones to stay in. How about getting a hotel ready for a lot of the Irish to stay in that's been on the street for years or whatever, instead of fucking people that's laying in doorways, keeping them in the doorway? Like, there's no such thing as in this country as getting the Irish homeless off the streets. But we're after getting thousands of people over here now and they're doing up hotels left, right and centre for them to keep them and all that. But yet the poor Irishman has to lay in the fucking doorway or in a tent or whatever way he can. God fucking help him. Or God help the Irish, the good Irish. You know, the honest, decent fucking Irish out there. That's not telling lies left, right and centre. You know. And be fucking truthful and stand up and tell the truth, you know. But we know all who's involved in it and where it came from and where it generated and who's at it and all the fucking thing of the day. It's not. Why, when it didn't work in Germany, why do you think it's going to work here? It might work here for a while, you know. But the only way that these people are brought in to do these skits and do these skits is that they owe somebody something, or that they got to lower themselves enough to get themselves involved in this carry on, you know. But look at, guys, all the TAs out there know what's happening, and 99% of the people out there knows what's happening and what's going on. Now, I don't know whether they can do anything about it or not, but at the end of the day, I'm sure, you know, there could be one or two years there to stay and say, no, I'm not fucking harassed no more. No, I'm not this or that. I'm only trying to tell you how it is, guys. I don't care, you know, but this is every constant in my life every day. If it's not the people running out in front of me, tripping out in front of me, trying to block me, trying to pull out in front of me in cars, trying to fucking ambush me in cars, vans, lorries, whatever it is, the whole lot. trying to project fat people eating ice cream, eating chocolate and all that. So we all know that's got to do with diabetes. You know, eating all this shit of the day into you. And then, you know, to create more fucking high blood sugars in you. To get this program, the way it's designed, is for you to get fucking diabetes. And I'm not the only one that said. There's a lad in America, he said the exact same as well. But that's exactly the way it's designed. But we know what's what and who's who. Do you think we're stupid? Like, you know what? Yes, guys, it's all to do with the fat people and eating people and the projecting the food onto you and the whole lot, and just to try and what they're doing is they were trying to project is the word onto you, the eating, the project the eating, the smoking, the fucking drinking, the, you know, the fat people, the limping people, you know. We all know this has got to do with diabetes, you know, the overweight people, the people limping, nerve neuropathy, nerve damage to your feet, your hands, you know, your eyes, you can't see. This is what diabetes does to you. You know, you can go blind, you can, you know, the nerves to your feet could shut off, and you could lose your feet, you could lose your legs, you could lose your arms, you could use your eyesight, you could lose anything with diabetes, because it's an awful disease. But that's what they try and do with you, with the buns, to project the buns, the eating of the buns, the crisps, the sweets, the chocolate, the ice cream, the fat people, the limping people, the ones with the sticks, all this is projected, all out there, project this onto you. To just to pin the point is, it's all about diabetics. That's what it is. But the best part of it is, I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, I'm not eating fucking ice cream, I'm not eating sweets. It doesn't matter. Just because you stick your hand in the fire, that doesn't mean to say that I'm going to stick my hand in the fire either. But this is the mentality that these people out here have, that they think that sitting in front of me eating an ice cream or a bar of chocolate is going to try and project that onto me, for me to get out and make me longing to get out and buy an ice cream or a bar of chocolate. Well, I'm sorry to think I'm not the small-minded person. Yous are the small-minded person or people that thinks that this will affect me to go out and buy an ice cream or a bar of chocolate or whatever the fuck you want me to buy to project this onto me. Yous are the small-minded ones, not me. Because I know what I'm at, yous don't. Alright guys, until you's our next update or whatever it is. I'll keep you updated on this anyway, guys, but that's basically what happened this last couple of weeks anyhow, whatever. I'll let you know what I'm here. Thanks for listening. Peace out.